Hey guys, Peter James here, really excited to show you this new analog multi. This is obviously analog multi 2. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen my analog multi 1 up on multi-tracks. This one's my kind of go-to multi that I'm using at church. It's got everything, obviously analog, Prophet, OB6, Big Sky, leads, pads, everything to kind of give you an all-in-one kind of patch. But I wanted to do another multi that was a little bit darker, more ethereal, more kind of reverb shimmery, and that's this one, Analog Multi 2. I actually combined the two last week in church as well, used Analog Multi 1 and added the first part of Analog Multi 2, the Whirly Cloud 2 Analog Multi 1. So it kind of gave me the best of both worlds by combining them. But they work obviously really well as standalone products as well. I'm going to start getting better at putting video chapter markers in my videos. So you can just quickly skip across to the audio examples. You don't have to hear me kind of ramble on and give you all the details of the product if you've got limited time. So just go down there if you want to skip through to audio examples. But I'll just explain the product a little bit for those who want a more in-depth kind of walkthrough. This one comes in obviously all the same formats as Analog Multi 1. It comes in Mainstage, Logic, Ableton, even Contact 5 if you own the full version of Contact 5 or higher. It comes in that format. I've also exported all the patches out as well, so you can really easily just add them into whatever template you're using. You don't have to use them in the templates that I'm providing with this product. But it does give you kind of a really quick and easy way to demo the sounds and then figure out which ones you want to pull into your own template or song. So I'm going to show it to you in the main stage version. Obviously all the formats use the same sample sources, so they pretty much sound the same. But I'll show it to you in the Contact version as well, because it makes it easier to kind of explain the different parts because they're kind of color coded. So you can see Analog Multi 2, it has a lot of shimmery parts to it. You've got your Sub37 bass, which gives you a really nice big bottom end. A lot of Big Sky, Cloud, and Shimmer presets. You've got your Prophet stuff here. I've actually added a new shimmer from my Specular Tempest. Really love this pedal. And so I wanted to add that as an alternative. Well, not an alternative, but an extra layer of reverb that you can put in there. OB6, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of what I'm using in it. In the main stage version, if you look up the top, there's a Pro 5 version where the cutoff frequency is mapped to this knob here. And this is exactly the same as the Pro 5 version, but the cutoff is mapped to the mod wheel. So if you're pulling this into your own template, I would suggest maybe using the mod wheel version because the mod wheel is already pre-mapped. You don't have to manually map the cutoff frequencies for every patch. But yeah, let's get into audio examples. I'll play it as a combined patch first and then go through the individual layers. There's a few little extra things I've got. You can add octave to the shimmer. You can see down here that it's turning an octave chord trigger plugin onto some of the reverb. So it's only adding octave shimmer. It's not adding octave to the kind of raw tone or the raw samples without reverb. Then I've got an Air EQ2 which adds a little bit more top end. It actually was sampled with the air on it, so it's not something I'm trying to boost. It's actually something I'm trying to take off because it's quite prominent in the top end. So yeah, so here we go. Okay, so let's get on to these individual patches and I'll explain them as I go. So the first one is a Prophet 5 Whirly patch, completely wet, that's been run through my Big Sky on the cloud setting. So you can see down here, I've EQ'd a little bit. The second one's an octave, so you actually can adjust the level of the octave depending on how bright you want it to be. And this is it by itself. Okay, so this next one is an OB6 Specular Tempest kind of combination patch. I really love this reverb pedal, Specular Tempest, and I wanted to include it to give you kind of another color on top of the Big Sky reverb color. So I'll start with the mod wheel up, then I'll add the octave button on to give you kind of an octave reverb version of it that you can mix in, and then I'll add that air EQ on top as well. If you want it to be really bright, you can do that too. So really love that patch. I love it with the air on it, but it doesn't always work great using the air when you combine all the patches. So that's why I've given you kind of the option to turn that air on and off. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is kind of a second version of the Oceans pad, EQ'd slightly differently to the original version, and I've only included the cloud version because I didn't feel like the shimmer worked well with this combination. So I'll quickly show you this patch. And then we've got a combination of the Prophet 5 Cloud and Shimmer from the basic Prophet 5 pad. Again, EQ'd differently to the original just to make it work as a combination patch. So this is this one. I'll show it to you without the octave and then add that octave in later. So that's just a really nice, completely wet analog shimmer through the cloud and shimmer settings on my Big Sky. And then lastly, I wanted to add the Sub37 kind of sub bass to it, just in case you wanted a little bit more big bottom end. And it's only mapped to the low octaves. So you can see here if I scroll up, it stops around about C2, I think it is. So it just adds a lot of, sub bass obviously to the bottom end. So if you're not listening to that on good speakers or good headphones, you might not pick up the really low end. It's obviously designed to work as a combination. You could use it as a sub bass as well by monoing it up in the XS24 player or sampler if you're on the new version of Mainstage. But as a combination patch, it works really well as a polyphonic kind of sub patch. So yeah, that's the walkthrough video for Analog Multi 2. If you want to hear more audio examples, they're always up on Multitracks for all these individual patches. But like I said, if you do own Analog Multi 1, definitely try taking this Whirly patch. If you're using Mainstage, just go to the bottom, Control C will copy it, or you can go up here and go copy. Go to Analog Multi 1. Obviously this is Analog Multi 2, but if you had Analog Multi 1 in your template, go here, Control V, paste it, move them around to wherever you want them to be, and you've basically got a really good kind of combination of the two products. You've got that really nice ambient reverb, multi-layered Prophet 5 Whirly reverb patch added to the Analog Multi 1, which can get really big, bright and majestic if you want to. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Really appreciate your support, and that's it for me for today.